no, don't come. Don't come. You're not welcome here. Don't come. You can't stop me from coming.
I couldn't help it.
Sorry, David.
I couldn't help it.
Welcome back, one and all. Thank you for listening. If you're new here, this is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast, and I'm your host, Molly Stewart. We define wholesome a little differently here, and my guests span everywhere from the adult industry to the vanilla side of humanity. If you haven't, please consider subscribing. Word of mouth is what helps this podcast grow. So share with a friend, leave a comment, download an episode, or anything you can to help with the algorithm. I release episodes every Monday, and if you're subscribed, you'll never miss an episode. You don't want to miss out on all the crazy conversations that evolve here. That's enough from me, and let's get to today's guest. Welcome back to the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. I am your host, Molly Stewart, and today I have Charlese here with me to celebrate our All Love episode for February 14th, because it's Valentine fucking Day! Ah! Chocolate and stuff. All right, so what are your plans for Valentine's Day?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
I want to eat snacks.
You want to eat snacks?
I need snacks.
One of the cool things about Valentine's Day is that on Valentine's Day, the chocolate is already discounted.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome because you can basically get all of the delicious candy for like no price. So that's pretty exciting.
I need that. But I'm not a huge chocolate fan anyway, so it's like...
What's like your candy of choice then?
I love gummy worms.
Yes.
Like I
sour?
love sour gummy worms.
Bitch.
And,
I should have
or the Sour Patch Kid, the watermelon ones.
I love those.
Have you seen the giant
So
Sour
much.
Patch Kids that are like this big?
Yes.
I love those. I
put
love
like
biting.
10 of them in your mouth at a time.
I like to bite the legs off, and then the arms off, and then the head.
Decapitating them.
And then I like to eat the body.
It's absolutely perfect. So today we have a lot of interesting things later on in the segment. Charlese won't be here. Unfortunately, this was filmed when she wasn't here. But we have an awesome little BDSM show and tell with my dom friend Sam. So definitely stay tuned for that if you guys are interested in anything BDSM. And then today, basically, I wanted to interact with a bunch of your guys' stories or questions about love, sex, and things like that. But before we get to that, I thought that we would just kind of vibe and just kind of... I want to hear kind of some of your stories as well about sex and love, because I think that between the two of us and the conversations that we've had on and off the podcast, that you have a lot of stories and or know of a lot of stories. So can you tell me about like your worst date ever?
Oh, my worst date ever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a hard one because I'm just like, I kind of try.
You're like all of them.
I try to block that out.
You're like just disassociating. Like
yeah, like just go away. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Did you ever have a situation that was set up where it was like a blind date thing? Because I've never done something like that.
Kind of. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was a blind date, but like I never met the person. Like I met them online, I guess you can say. And it just was really awkward. But I don't really think I've really had any like terrible dates. I'm really good at just making things great. Like I'm good at just talking to people, and even if like I may not care for the person or
yeah, you
like
can
that,
still
like
have a good time regardless. It just won't be a second date.
Yeah, just won't be a second date. It'll be like, okay.
I can definitely see that because you're someone that
early.
can just have fun regardless of like any situation, which I think is really important. But I feel like sometimes the reasons that bad dates go bad is because there's expectations on either side for one thing or another of what it's going to be, instead of just like going in not thinking about anything and just kind of like seeing what happens.
But no one does that. I feel like no one does that anymore. Everyone has expectations, or everyone has assumptions of what it's supposed to be like, or this is what it's supposed to be, this is what it's supposed to be. And my biggest thing is in general, like if you haven't had a conversation with somebody and you don't know like what their values are, what your thing is, then why are you going on a date with them? Yeah. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm just going to go on a date with this guy. And I'm like, well, what do you do you guys have anything that aligns? Because at the end of the day, if you guys don't have something in common, or in some way, shape, or form, the things that you value or the things that you want in common, like, you guys are both going to get there, and someone isn't going to have a good time. Someone's going to be like, oh, I feel like he should have paid for this, or, oh, I feel like this should have happened. Oh, I felt like this should have happened. Or,
well, then you should make that known.
Ahead of time
for sure. Yeah, like, and I think that's another thing too with like online dating, especially, is that a lot of it isn't really dating, if we're honest. It's kind of like, you're hot, I thought you were hot, we clicked the same we think we are hot button, and now let's so literally. It's even going out on a Tinder date is basically like, you're getting someone,
we're gonna go out and then we're going home together.
There's going to be an exchange, right? There's gonna be dinner, maybe some drinks, and then you're like, that's it. And it's like, I don't even know how much I would consider that a date versus kind of like a meet and which is like, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong.
Doesn't bother me. If that's what you want to do, like, do it. But for me, that's not dating. It's like,
dating is getting to know someone,
to know someone,
them, like, not their pussy or butthole or penis, whatever, mouth, ear hole,
whatever, nose holes.
All love, baby.
All of the holes. But I guess for me, like, I feel like I don't want to not get to know someone. And on top of that too, like, everyone thinks now that, oh, if he's taking me on a date, he better be doing this, or he better be doing that, or she better be like this, she better be ready to put out if I do this or if I do that. And for me, I'm like,
you should be doing, because you
get to know each other.
You should be doing whatever it is, like, whether it's the date, whether if you're paying for dinner, whether you're going out with the person in the first place, it should come from some sort of good place of no expectations, like doing that because you want to.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to pay for dinner, for instance, have that discussed ahead of time. Be like, this is our first date, we've never actually met, let's go halfsies, split the bill, like something like that. Do you know what I mean? But talk about it beforehand. You can't, like, nobody's a mind reader. You can't just, like, especially with someone you've never met before, and you're just like, I expect you to know that I want all of these things. Like, you can be with someone and they still can't anticipate all of your many needs.
No. You can know someone for years and still not know exactly what they're thinking or what's happening. Like, you still may not know. Unless you're me. I'm a mind reader and I know everything. Definitely don't, but
I don't know. Have you had, like, then maybe like some really good dates, like, or because they always say that thing of, like, what's your dream ideal date, but for me personally, I haven't really done much of the whole dating thing in general, so I kind of have my few moments that stick out as like, oh, the best dates, but like, as someone who I just feel like so many people, and I mean, has there been anything that has kind of stood out as like something special to you, or maybe something you haven't done that you hope to?
I enjoy people put thought into it, so I don't always, like, for me, like, dinner, like, don't get me wrong, I love to eat. We just talked about the fact that I wanted snacks. Like, I love food, I love all of that, but I'd rather someone put the thought into it. So no matter if it's like something really small, like, oh, like, I remember you saying that you really wanted to go on this hike, or you really wanted to do this, let's go do that. Or I know that you enjoy this or you enjoy that, so let's do that. And like, I guess a big part for me, like, one of the best dates that I've ever had, and like one of the best things that I ever had, was like with like my ex-husband. He put a lot of thought into it. He was like, I know that you like this food, so I'm going to cook it. Like, I'll cook this, I'll cook lamb chops, and this, I'll do this, I'll do that. And that was one of like the biggest things. I'm like, okay, like this, and mind you, like, this is someone who never used to cook and now enjoys it. And so I was like, wow, like, that I like these, so you're gonna make sure to make them, whether he can sit and eat it with me or whether he can't, like, whatever it was, it's like, hey, I want this. And so I don't always feel like everything has to be like face to face where you guys are both doing it, or where something's happening. It could really just be the fact of like someone puts that thought in it for you. Like,
yeah, for sure,
that's the date. Dating is the date. Like, you don't necessarily have to go somewhere for it to be a date. You can do whatever it is.
The date is the experience of whatever it is. The date is literally the day that it's on and like the time. It's like, it's so much is open to interpretation with that, like, for instance, for me, I think like the worst first date would probably be going to see a movie, because it's like, oh, we went, said hello, and then didn't talk to each other for an hour and a half in the dark. And so
always
it's like,
hard. I feel like first dates at the movies, and that used to be like, that's so, and to me that's so like high school, not even high school, it's so middle school.
It's
let's go to the movies together. Like,
Oh, do you think I can get my mom to drop me off, and then or maybe she can pick you up and we can carpool together, and
like,
yeah,
no.
it's like, no, like, do like put it is like the whole idea of putting some thought into it, and that's what anybody wants out of a relationship, is just somebody that will put some thought into them.
Or it's like, hey, you know that I love seafood. Okay, so you pick a seafood place. Or it's like, hey, you know that like I want to get ice cream. Oh yeah, I know that you always talk about going to this ice cream place. Or, oh, I know that you love going to this cookie place or whatever. And saying, hey, let's go ahead and go there.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
I'll pick you up, or let's meet here and then we can decide what we want to do after. Or, hey, let's just go sit and just eat for a second.
Yeah.
Talk to each other. The problem is I feel like some people now, they talk online. When they finally get in person, they can't have a full conversation.
Yeah, that's I think that it's something that's happening like everywhere, not even in dating, but it's so much more prevalent in dating
just
because
life.
we are essentially like trying to get to know someone. But I feel like since so much communication is just online, it's like, even for me, like I had told you before, like when I started the podcast, it was partially to teach me how to actually talk to people that weren't behind a camera. Yeah, because it's like it's something that's terrifying, especially when like that's typically the norm. And then I think also you're looking at this like 2-year long stretch of a pandemic where a majority of the population was very isolated from each other and
Very
all of
online.
that. And then it's like you're also trying to find someone who cares about you, someone you can care about, to like go through with it together. But it's like, how do you really communicate, past the point of the internet? And even looking at someone's social media, I feel like a lot of times people can just, stalk someone's Instagram, essentially. Not like in a creepy way, just like,
Well,
we've
I
all
know
done
everything
it.
about you.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, well, I know that you like this, and then this is what you like to wear. And it's like, so people get this idea in their head of what they already think that you are. So I feel like there's, with some people, not with everyone, there's this idea that it's like, well, I don't really need to get to know you because I already know you. So I'm only going to tell you about me.
And I guess for me, that's why I wouldn't do any online dating. I'd rather meet someone in real life, or someone that I know, like different things. I'm not for the whole online dating scene. I just feel like it's very it's just very annoying. And on top of that too, like, I don't want you to sit there and just, oh, you're so hot, or oh, you're this, or oh, just talk about this all day.
Yeah.
Or the fact of the matter, you're telling me one thing here, but in reality, like, you've never done that a day in your life. Like, you just said that because you thought it was cool, and you're able to lie about it during text because you can.
Yeah, because there's a sense of like, when there's a screen between you, it's essentially like the sense of anonymity, where it's just like people put on so many faces, because I was trying to say masks next, but I'm a little bit stoned, but like faces or masks to kind of like give the person that they're interested in, whether it's just
what they think they want.
Yes, what they think they want. And that's with anything. It can be with friendship, it can be with romantic, like all that kind of
Work
stuff.
stuff,
I'm not saying it's just guys either. So, and because I know that people will come in the comments for
That's
that kind
always
of stuff,
going to be it.
because it's not just guys.
Women definitely do it.
Yes, they do. Like, everyone fucking does it. And I think that it's just kind of one of those lost arts, is the ability to actually have a long form conversation and really be invested in the person who you're forced to spend that time with. Because essentially it's like, you've both committed to spend this time together. Well, it's like, well, now how are you going to spend it? And it's like, a lot of people don't even know how to talk, I feel like, to the point of figuring out how to make that experience a good one. And I think a lot of people are just also very self-absorbed, is just kind of what I've seen. And this is just from like observing other people, and I know reality TV is fake, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, this broad scope of
everyone wants to
world.
live as if they're in a reality show now.
Yes.
So everyone does the things that make it as if they are this, whole reality show kind of persona, and people live like that now. And especially like in every type of relationship, friendships, dating, everything, you see a glimpse of that reality show life with all of it. And I just feel like I just can't really get with it. I have enough personality and attitude of my own that I don't need someone faking theirs in my life. Like,
yeah,
I just
exactly.
can't really do that.
I think it's just missing that genuine connection, because it's so easy, especially with being on social media all the time, and especially when it involves our jobs. It's something that, everybody, pretty much almost everyone's social media is involved in some sort of aspect of their work nowadays. That's why people can say things and then, maybe fuck up and get fired from their fucking job, because whether you're using your social media for your job or not, it
still
out
ties
there.
together.
And so it's like everyone is involved in this network to some degree, but it's just, you can have so many like face level interactions with people and like be like, oh yes, I know them, or I internet know them, but it's like there's none of that real genuine care to either talking to them, or like when you actually need something, it's like they're not going to be the ones who are there. Yeah. And I don't know. I think that's what's made dating difficult for a lot of people in so many ways. Like, I definitely would not date online if I wasn't in a relationship. Like, I would not. No, thank you. It's just it also is kind of like a too tantamount. I don't know if that's the correct word. I'm hoping it is, but it's basically similar to kind of the job that I have, because it's like, well, I have a fan base who's like, oh, you're so hot and I love you. It's like, well, you love the idea of me.
And I feel like online dating is the same way. You love the idea
you love
of me.
the idea of me. You love, because you're basically seeing pixels on a screen and then interpreting from that what you will, because it's not the same thing as a genuine face-to-face interaction.
No.
And genuine face-to-face interaction is fucking scary. Like, no wonder people are so fucking bad at it when social media and the internet makes it so easy to kind of like escape that, obligation.
Well, if you think about it too, like even like in our relationship and everything, like we're pretty close to the same, whether it's online or whether it's there. But when we're texting each other and things like that, it's not the same, and it's not the same feeling as when we're in person. And it's like, so no matter what, it's like, it's that way with any relationship. Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to start a relationship with someone and you don't have a relationship already built,
yeah,
in what world does that like help you? It doesn't really make sense to me, because I'm like, even relationships that I'm close to people, like I see you every week basically. Yeah, we're together almost every week. We're texting at least every other day. Like there's a whole lot of different types of relationships in different forms, but each one is different and each one provides something different.
And then even outside of that, right? So for instance, like even us seeing each other as much as we do, which has been awesome, and it's been so fun lately. But it's like, as much as we see of each other, there's still so much going on in each of our own individual lives.
We got to catch up.
Somehow, while we're still talking, while not seeing each other, every time that you actually meet again in person, it's like, oh, here's all the things I've been holding on to, because it's so inconsequential to text like every detail that happens. But it's like, then that face to face with people that you do have that genuine care and like correspondence with, it's like a million times better, because it's like everything floods back that you've been wanting to like tell,
and you can put
share.
the real emotions into it.
Yes, because it's you can. I've had it so many times. Like I'm a horrible texter, and God, it's bad. Like it's either like 50 million messages to say like one small thing, or just like apologizing for the way I'm like, what am I doing?
Or it's one simple nothingness.
And it's like, I've had so much miscommunication with things just because either sometimes I will type something too quickly, and it can be someone that I've known for a very long time. Like, are you mad at me? I'm like, no. Like, why would I be mad? Oh, it's just the way that you texted. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to.
It's
like, but if that was in person and you listened to me say it, it would be, you wouldn't even ask.
You wouldn't have asked. You would have been like, oh my gosh, look at your thing.
Never entered your brain. But then also, when you take away that face-to-face interaction, regardless, once again, that shows that you're only working on your own interpretation of what it is, because there's nothing genuine or concrete behind it to show you what it actually is. And that's why a lot of people, I think, go into things like online relationships and stuff like that with just kind of like, oh, this is fine, this is all what it is, because they don't even think about like how much time is spent by the other person doing things that have nothing to do with them, because you've never met them. Like, you don't know them as a person, you know them as like an avatar, essentially, like an online representation, like their little avatar created online to depict who they are. And we all do it. We all try to put the best version of ourselves out there what
online.
we think people want, what we
put
think will get
we put a persona that we
exactly.
want to be. Like, in reality, the persona that I share on social media isn't who I am. Like, is there aspects to me in there? Yes. But anyone who knows me is like, oh, like, you do this, like, I love that you post this, I love that, I love this.
Like,
but
you blow it up extra because it's exaggerated, because it's like...
You only see one aspect. People see one part of me on there. Same with you. People, I know your content, I know everything that you do, I know all of your posts, like, all of that stuff, and I see it all. But then in reality, it's nothing like that when it's just together, like when we're just around each other. It's not the same. It's just not life.
You mean whenever you come over, I'm not just on the couch diddling myself and being like, hey, Charlese, what's up?
In reality,
one time. It was one time.
But no, there's actually there's so much more to you than that. There's so much more to you than what everyone else sees.
Is one of them, if you're wondering, but not anymore, thanks to Manscaped, the Weed Whacker 4.0. Actually, I don't know if the Weed Whacker's a 4.0. Don't quote me on that. It's just the Weed Whacker, and it goes inside my nose, so I'm trying to hold this in for really. I'm trying to do a whole ass ad read right there. It really didn't work out. Nothing says I love you like a smooth, hairless, freshly scented ball sack. No matter who's licking your nuts or receiving a picture of your package this Valentine's Day, do everyone a favor. Trim that rainforest of pubes and sweat that's been growing untamed in your boxers. Support for the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast is brought to you today by Manscaped, and I'm so excited about this, fam. You know how often I talk about the importance of manscaping and balls? Well, Manscaped has sent me their performance package, and this is the 4.0 package, gentlemen and ladies. I bought the Lawnmower 3.0 for my man ages ago, long before they were kind enough to sponsor me, and Manscaped products just keep getting better. Men, listen up, and ladies too. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your jewels. Nobody wants to floss with pubes, so treat yourself or your partner to a smooth sack this Valentine's Day. It's time to give the gift that 4 million men worldwide trust from Manscaped. They're the leader in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped has you covered for everything related to your sack. Love your nuts, and don't nick or scratch them. The Lawnmower 4.0 has safeguard technology that reduces the risk of those painful grooming accidents, as well as an LED spotlight that helps avoid missing any stray hairs and leaves those testes looking their besties. The perfect package for your perfect package isn't complete without the Weed Whacker, and I'm actually probably going to use this because I also have nose hairs. If you want to clear the weeds out of your nose and ears, this little guy will take care of you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts: their Shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. You can throw away those fraying undies and slip into comfort before slipping into something or someone else. We all sweat, but you can keep your crack dry with their ball deodorant. If you're short on time, they have these amazingly scented crop wipes that keep your balls fresh for the next tongue that comes your way. You want to be prepared for anything, and you want to feel cool and confident, and that's the effect you'll get with Manscaped. The Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner are cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, and vegan, so you can feel even better about what you're putting on your sack. Go to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off and free shipping with my code TWND. Get the gift for yourself or someone else in your life with hairy balls, and see why 4 million men worldwide continue to use Manscaped. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use my code TWND at checkout. Thank you for listening, and we thank Manscaped for sponsoring this podcast. But something that is exciting that I am considering now as I'm launching this, we got the sponsorship. Manscaped is approved. It's no longer a trial sponsorship. Thank you so much, Manscaped, for sponsoring this podcast. Use code TWND at checkout. And so that's exciting. So go shave your fucking balls because you need it. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember what we were talking about. Do you?
Online dating, and then we started talking about everything else.
God,
and you diddling on yourself.
Oh, diddling on myself. And on the note of diddling myself, I think that we should listen to the people who watch me do so. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
They're my favorite.
All right, let's start with what voicemails we do have, and then we'll move on to emails. So let me see. Trying to figure out how to do this. I know I don't do this very often. Voice message. All right, here we have. I did not put that out.
Oh, I got lipstick on my thumb.
All right.
Okay.
All right, there's 2 for Rick.
Rick.
But wait, I think only one.
Oh,
I think this Rick one is the one potentially we listened to last time you were here. So I'll play the newest one. Oh wait, no, don't add. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Hi, Molly. Any Valentine videos or picture sets coming out?
Yes, by this point, you will have probably
Love to
already
see them.
jerked off to them, Rick.
Have a good day. Love.
Have a very happy Valentine's Day, Rick. I hope that you enjoy jerking off to all my Valentine's Day content. Some of them, Charlese was indeed present for, and or did makeup for, and hope you enjoyed it. All right, the next thing.
Hope you enjoyed it, Rick.
Yeah, I'm so excited. All right, so this is exciting.
Thank
because
me for her stuff.
Because I could be mistaken about this, but I do believe that Olivia, we just filmed a video for you today that Charlese was present for, and she was very excited because it was a video for a girl.
It's for Olivia.
All right, so let us hear from Olivia.
Hi, Molly. So I guess my question or advice, if you have, for someone who just recently started to casually date after a very, very long-term relationship, I've been having a really hard time kind of connecting with dates. I tend to find myself kind of focusing on like nitpicking things that I dislike. And as soon as I find something that I dislike, I end up kind of ghosting or avoiding any connection there. So I don't know if I'm kind of just sabotaging dates or if I've just set my standards up too high. That's made it hard to find someone
Too
to
high.
meet that.
Too high, bitch.
Or if I'm not ready, I don't know. Whether high standards is a good thing or a bad thing
Good, always good.
It's always a
at
good
this
thing.
point.
You
But I'd
deserve.
love to hear whatever feedback you guys have for me.
All right, so Olivia, I'm going to tell you straight up that your standards are not too high. But what I will say is that it also, I guess, would depend on how long it has been since the breakup, essentially. I don't think it was mentioned. I don't know
No,
if you
it wasn't
caught
mentioned.
I didn't think so. Yeah, Olivia does sound very hot. Allie is sitting back here editing my content, and she would like you to know that you sound very hot, and you do, Olivia, because you are fucking hot. I know. So, I guess what I would say is kind of like coming out of something that's a very long-term relationship, whether it was something that was mutual, whether it was something that you chose or that the partner chose, regardless, it is so hard. Whether you were ready for it to be over or not, that is such an extended period of your life, a long-term relationship. And that's time that essentially, once it's over, there's this, and for me at least, there was this kind of feeling of, oh my God, there is all this time that I have wasted that I'm never going to get back. And it was like, all right, well, now I have to absolutely make sure that I'm never put in that situation again. So it's that same thing of nitpicking every little problem and potential problem or making things up in my head. But there was also this feeling that it was kind of like, because that relationship had ended and because it had been such a long period of my life, I didn't deserve to have a good relationship regardless. So some of that kind of sabotage. It's sabotage. I'm so sorry. But it was basically like you feel like you don't deserve it, right? And so there are, parts of your brain, especially if you're potentially not even ready to start dating, that you are going to try to find every possible negative thing that you can. And I think that, sometimes it's good, even though you want basically the companionship, to honestly do the Tinder thing and just fuck people. Don't try to fucking date them. Just find out if they have what you're looking for in the bedroom. Fuck it out of your system. And sometimes that is what you need. I'm not saying that it's for everyone. I'm not saying that it should be something that's continued. It could be one time, you know, to just kind of realize that there are other options for you in life besides basically either being in a long-term relationship, being in any relationship whatsoever, being with a guy, being with a girl. There are no real parameters for what you have to decide to do next. But the biggest thing is, I think, just figuring out who you are outside of your relationship. Because when long-term relationships take up such a large part of our lives and typically occur in very formative years, it's part of kind of what shapes you. And when that's taken away, you're like, well, then what am I? But you are everything that you were before that relationship, and you are all the little pieces of you that came from that relationship. And it's just a matter of finding what you didn't like in yourself from that relationship and trying to convert it into something that you do like. And, you know, we're never going to like fully love ourselves. We're all going to have, you know, some, I think, negativity surrounding ourselves, whether it's how we look, whether it's, you know, what we do for work or like where we are in life or, you know, whatever it is. But I think the most important thing before trying to find another relationship is to really try to find what it is that you need. And I'm not saying what you need from another person. I'm just saying what you need in life to make yourself happy. Because when you can find yourself happy without another person being the cause of that, especially like one person being the only cause of your happiness, that's not healthy. So you need to find your happiness and your fulfillment from like multiple people. And I'm not saying sexually, just people in general, just experiences. Because the more experiences that you have, then the more that you can kind of determine what it is out of life that you really want to go for and what makes you happy and, you know, what you can run to when things feel bad. That isn't necessarily like into the arms, pussy, or dick of someone else. You know what I mean? Like to have that ability to be like, I'm alone and I'm me and that's okay. And then kind of once you find that balance, I feel like the right people just kind of start to enter your life
from there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it was for me too. I had to find myself after to really like realize like, okay, like I deserve this or I deserve that. And a lot of times we set our standards really high, and even though we know that we deserve the things that we're saying, at the same time we're like, we start questioning it, kind of like you were like, are my standards too high? No, your standards are what you want them to be and what you believe that you deserve. Mm-hmm. And nobody can take that away from you.
Yes.
You can have whatever standards you want. Someone else may not believe that those standards are right for you, or, oh, that's too high. Well, guess what?
They're not
that's
the right
not
person
the person for you.
But like
you can't.
Your person will find you, especially like they will find you. Trust me.
They will find you.
I didn't find mine. I was found. So it's like, it's kind of, and I'm not saying that it's always that way. And I think like everything takes time, but also like, don't judge yourself and where you are in proxy basically to the people around you, because nobody else really knows what's going on inside of your head except for you.
Well, not even that. Not everything that is meant for someone else is meant for you.
Exactly.
You may be meant to have it at a different time. They may be meant to have it now. You may be meant to have a bunch of meaningless sex that just gets you off.
Or just a bunch of meaningless dates where you can maybe get free food. Or
that could be what you need.
At the worst, maybe you have a cool conversation and then you're like,
you make a good friend. You could always get a friend from it.
It could be too.
But I feel like now, especially nowadays, especially with, you know, all these couple posts and everything on social media, and with it being close to Valentine's Day, everyone's like, I just want a relationship. And so we get this whole like idea that we just need all of this extra love, and oh my gosh, I need to be in a relationship. I need this. I need that. We see it from everyone else. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you want this because you're seeing it everywhere else. Yeah. But quite frankly, you don't need it. And if you feel that you need it, you need to take a step back and
because
realize what you need for yourself, and you need to bring it to yourself. You need to give yourself what you need and then ask other people to give that to you.
Yeah. Because I think it also goes into that thing where if you're looking for basically one other person to, it's like we talked about on the episode we all did. We're multifaceted. So it's like if you're going out looking for basically one person or, you know, one type of relationship to kind of like fill all of those gaps, you're essentially going into a relationship, even if you find one, with all these expectations put on the other person. And it just happens. Like, and you don't even really think about it. So I think it kind of goes into that extra care into kind of introspection with yourself and spending time alone with yourself or spending time with other people. And, you know, by proxy, you know, all these bad dates that you're talking about, that's, you know, maybe parts of them were good and then parts of them were bad. But then you can look at those good ones and be like, okay, well, here's things from these dates that I really enjoyed. And then here's the list of things that I didn't enjoy. And from there, it's kind of like you can just start.
I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with that.
You will start, once you really start like diving in and thinking about like, this is what really bothers me about a person. This is what really excites me or what I really enjoy about another person. Then when you meet new people, your brain gets these triggers and it's like you can just start to tell the people you're not going to jive with, or the people who are kind of like, you can tell the people, I think, or at least I can a lot better now, who definitely have the fake, where they have the mask on, where they give you what they're presenting to you. And you're not really getting the fullness of that. And I think like when we just go into something looking for someone to fill a need that we think that we have, we find it because you'll find what you're looking for. It's like when you do a Google search, right? To do your own research, you can find studies and data for any side of the argument that you have, whether it's like the sky being blue versus purple, like whatever, like you can find something. So if you're looking for it, you will find it. So if you are looking for negative qualities, you will find them. If you are looking for positive qualities, you will find them. But if you are looking for those things, you will miss out on other things. So for instance, like maybe you don't like the way someone chews or something. And that will be the only thing that you will focus on, despite maybe every other single quality about this person being great for you. So it's kind of trying to avoid that hyper-focusing, I think, and just kind of not really going into stuff with much expectation, especially when it's something that's so new. It's like trying to be a weatherman. They don't know what's going on either. Like, you can't predict it. It's either gonna vibe or it's not. So, I don't know.
Relationships are hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't force anything, and you can't make everything perfect. We can say that, you know, oh, I feel like I'm in the perfect relationship, or I feel like this. It is only perfect to a certain extent. Yeah. Everything is only perfect to a certain extent. There's always going to be something.
There's like, never perfect symmetry.
I can guarantee for you, you and Simon are great together. You guys work great together. Clearly, you love him.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, I can guarantee that there's days where you're like, this man is annoying the hell out of me. Leave me alone. Go away. We all have that.
I just don't understand why when things drop on the floor, he feels the need to pick them up and eat them. And he just
I saw him do that the other day. I was like, what are you doing?
Baby, I know you're never going to listen to this. So this man eats raw spinach out of a bag. Oh, he's listening? All right. This man, right, I love him so much.
I feel like I heard him in the background.
He eats raw spinach out of the bag like it's fucking chips. And it bothers me so much.
Does he dip it in ranch or
No! It's just spinach, like raw fucking spinach.
I'm just gonna hide back here while I think about my thoughts. That's gross.
It bothers me. But it's also like, oh, I love it. So it's funny. Like, obviously it makes me laugh. It doesn't make me angry, but I'm just like, why?
We all have those things. There's no one is going to be like to the point where there's nothing that bothers you. Period. There's nobody.
No. And I do so much shit. I do shit that annoys myself. So I'm sure I annoy the shit out of him.
Oh, guaranteed.
So it's like, but it's like you love the person. So it's like you also end up loving, I feel like, the things that even annoy you about them, because you're just like, it's them.
God,
you know what I mean?
If they didn't do that, like, you're like, if this was somebody else, this would be a red flag.
It's like they could be doing something that is actually bad. You know what I mean? Like,
but you when you see, like, again, when you love someone or when you care about someone, there is red flags that you just are like, And sometimes that's not good for you.
Yeah.
And other times, whatever. But there are times, of course, when red flags pop up. I don't care how much you love that person. You should run.
I feel like there is a point, though, where you got to be a little careful of red flags. And here's only coming from my experience, just because. So, for instance, if you're in something potentially like an abusive relationship, and I'm not even necessarily saying like some huge high level abuse, even just like the emotional mental stuff, and you just have someone who's not good for you, not treating you right, regardless of who you are, who they are, whatever. Once you get out of that, right, and because you finally get out of it because you can see how they were treating you, then you can go into new relationships, and maybe there are things that other person did that did annoy you, but they're small things. But because this new person who may not do any of the actual toxic stuff, you get red flags because maybe they pick their teeth or something, and that person did that, and then you're like, and then you're like, oh, you're the same person, you're horrible, everything is wrong with you, like, and so you have to kind of be careful of like not assuming that someone will react to something the way that someone else has, or the way that you would. So it's kind of like
everybody's different. Everybody reacts to things different. Everybody has different feelings towards things. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is a lot of times we put our issues onto somebody else. And even if that person isn't doing it, then we still are like, well, this person did it, so I'm going to just go with you. You are going to do it too. Yeah. And it's you can't always do that. And that's like one of the hardest things I feel like too, after being in a long relationship, like that's one of the hardest things to do is like
letting go of
realize that person isn't everybody else. Yeah. That person was that person. That was this is now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's like the hardest part. Yeah. But girl, your standards aren't too high.
Your standards are not too high. Mm-mm. It's just kind of like, I think it comes back to like managing expectations too. It's like, you can never expect that like the first date is going to sweep you off your feet necessarily. And it's like,
maybe they're nervous and shy.
Exactly. So it's like maybe you're nervous and shy in a way that you don't realize, or maybe, and it's like, but all this overthinking, like overthinking it is essentially what it comes down to. Is kind of like, and trust me, I'm so guilty of this because I overthink everything. Mm-hmm. I'm trying really hard to keep that under wraps. So it's kind of like, no, don't worry. Like managing expectations, realizing that like nothing is going to be perfect, and then also realizing that, especially coming out of a long-term relationship, take time to really focus on you and figuring out what you need versus what you want in a partner. So
yeah, I guess because sometimes the things that you want will come after you already have the things that you need. And a lot of times when you need certain things, if you need something and someone's able to give you the things that you need, most of the time that person's going to want to give you the things that you want as well. I feel like now, and this is with friendships, no matter what it is, business relationships, friendships, day-to-day stuff, find what you need first and then go for the things that you want. You get what you need. The things that you want always come back because you're going to make sure, hey, well, I really want this, so I'm going to find a way to make sure this happens. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, anybody who cares about you, and whether that, again, like I said, even in business relationship, this person can care about having your business, having this. So they're going to then, they're meeting your needs now. Mm-hmm. They're now going to want to give you the things that you want to make sure that you stay.
Exactly.
The things that you want will come to get you to stay. Yeah. And those are the things that you kind of have to think about too, is it's not always going to be right away, or you're not going to always get both
the right best in there. I feel like the best things in life take the most time, and they take the most work. And once you get to the end of it, I think like something that, comes back to the whole, having that computer screen, right? Like, so analyzing yourself and like really diving into who you are and the things that you might not necessarily like about yourself, or the things that could be better and stuff like that. That's even harder than actually having meaningful conversations with other people, because like
you're your biggest critic.
You are. And it's like, and if you're not, and you think that there is nothing that you could change or do better in your life,
go see a therapist.
I recommend BetterHelp. Online therapy. But like, it's because everyone can be better. We can all fucking be better.
We can all be better. It doesn't matter what it is. You can always be better. The world is always changing. Everything is always changing. you can always do better.
And
You
at
can
the very
always do
least, you
better.
can always try, because I think that, you know, the more that we try to really better ourselves and better our own outlook on life and
It
people,
gets better. Every time
it
you
does
try
get better.
something, you keep trying it until you're great at it.
Yeah.
And then once you're great at it, you keep trying until you find a way to make it even better.
And even if you try something, I feel like, and you find out, oh, I'm not great at this, it can lead to you finding something else that you like even more,
Or
and
something
that you
end
are
up-
actually
great at.
good at. Yeah,
You're great
like,
at it from the beginning,
for
and you're like,
sure.
oh, I didn't know that this is what would happen.
Yeah, but if you don't try, then you'll never know. And that's kind of like the dating. If you don't try,
You're
you'll
not
never
gonna
know if you
know.
find the person. You know what I mean? And it's kind of one of those things that you'll go through a lot of bad eggs, but once you know, you know. So
One day you'll find the golden egg.
the golden egg, and you'll make a
golden
beautiful,
egg.
beautiful omelet all over your body. All right, so let's dive into.
All over your body.
I love omelets.
That's not even how you do it. I like had a
Love
heart-shaped egg, and I like tried to, and I'm like, well, that wasn't even how.
all
it
over your
works.
boobies. All right, let's see. If we...
I have a
Oh my
hair.
god.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna cut the eyelashes to put them on you.
All right, so I'm gonna ask this for you. What would be the most romantic evening for you, and what would you prefer a romantic date to look like? And we're keeping this fella anonymous.
For me, I
like to be slapped when you meet me. Just slap me across the face.
I wish I would have known that.
You slap me with some makeup. That would be a great TikTok transition. I'm sorry, I'm stoned.
Oh.
Like
I have the powder. I have that
like
yellow powder.
as a makeup artist, you just slap me across my face,
Face,
and
and
I
then
come
you-
back and I'm like, it's
Glam
like
down.
that.
I think we
That'd
should
be
try
cool.
that. I
Let's
think we
see
should
what-
try it. We should try it.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's your most romantic date look like?
Honestly, I love the water. I love the beach. So I would absolutely love, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the sand because I don't really want sand in my food. But
Sand in your toes,
yes.
not in your nachos.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't want them in my food.
Nachos.
Nachos sound so good right now, actually.
I could fuck with some nachos.
Oh, I love food.
We should make a video where you just cover my body in nachos, and you don't have to be naked. Like, I'll just be naked.
I
And you
eat
can
them,
just
though?
eat nachos off my body.
Oh my god, let's do it.
Okay. All right.
I would get naked with you.
All right. That's my most romantic date idea.
And then I would literally like drip some nacho cheese on me, and then I would just take the chips that don't, because you know there's always chips
Yeah.
that like are missing cheese, and I would just be like,
Yeah, right from the cleavage.
Right
I
there.
have like this cute little decorative serving bowl.
ooh,
You could probably like get a push-up bra and just
hold it there.
Keep it right between the Tito's.
let's do it.
Fuck yeah!
All
All right,
We're gonna do it.
We have to get like, because we're doing the calendar, right? Too.
Yeah. Okay, so we
remember what
want to
we're
do a
doing with the
potato one.
calendar.
So we want to do
Right, the
potato,
potatoes.
potato, all different
I'm gonna
stuff.
be a baked potato.
I want to be a lot of potatoes. I honestly think I should just be like Thanksgiving dinner, but with a bunch of different potato sides, and I'll just sit on the table and put the bowl in the middle of my legs, and like just be like scooping it, and then like I want the mashed potatoes down in the middle so that I can like drip gravy. all over
Okay,
me.
so can I be the turkey that is like in the hogtied position,
Yes.
like on the table behind you?
Allie, are you hearing all
I'll
this?
put an apple in my mouth.
Yes.
Oh, but then I'd be like a pig, not like a turkey.
It doesn't matter. We'll just put a gag in your mouth. Just a ball gag.
Oh, perfect.
Ball gag in your mouth, and like we'll hog tie you, and then I will literally drip gravy all over myself, and then I'll be there, and then I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna stick a fork in you while I'm dripping
You could
gravy with
actually
one
stick
hand.
a fork in me, just like the other side,
The other
like
side?
not the pokey
Oh,
side.
let's do it. Oh my gosh. We'll just make a whole video out of it too. Fuck it.
I'm super excited.
Right.
See, these are the ideas that we come up with.
Yeah.
I'm very stoned. All right.
Oh.
So let's go. Next week.
Don't even remember if I answered the question. But yeah. So you got close enough. You got enough answer. Food. Beach.
You got the answer, but
Food
what was
and
the
water.
question?
Yeah.
Purple.
Perfect.
All right.
That's basically my name.
Okay. Oh, it is.
On Instagram.
Purple. Oh, Purple Affair. Give Charlese a song. All right. Let's see. Oh, submission. Here we go. Let's see. All right. So this is from Bulbous. I'll keep your actual
Bulbous.
name on the DL. Don't want anyone naughty finding out. All right. Since the theme of Valentine's Day is supposed to be about romance, My question for you is, do you feel that romance is a lost art? And if not, any thoughts as to why romance is not as encouraged in dating life? And as one more fun one, what is the most embarrassing or unique date you have ever experienced? I think we kind of
touched on it
a little bit at the beginning, but I think honestly also, Bubba's, that we have kind of touched on his question, which is kind of like, I think one of the reasons is things like dating apps and social media and the internet in general is kind of the lost art of romance and the lost art of communication. Really.
Everyone thinks it has to be Instagram worthy now. So everyone thinks romance is Instagram worthy. Yeah. So everyone thinks for it to be romantic that you need an entire room covered in roses and a bunch of expensive gifts just thrown everywhere. That's what nowadays everyone thinks romance is, when a lot of times it's really just put some damn thought into it. Literally, I would get so excited at the fact of, hey, I went to the gas station and I was on my way home. I went to the gas station. I know that you really love Sour Patches. Here you go. I got you some Sour Patch Kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm literally going to be like, oh, Sour Patches.
Like, because it's like, oh, you thought of me. Like, you that kind of thing. And I think we did touch on it basically as kind of like, I think people are pretty selfish. And I think that even I don't know how much of romance is lost versus how much of it is attempted and then is found to be like not enough.
Everything I feel like is not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Well, like, what am I going to take a picture of my Sour Patch Kids? And people will think that's fucking, why wasn't it flowers?
Why do you have to take a picture of it?
Why do you have to take a picture of it?
Your flowers are going to die anyways, just so you know.
Now I know people say, well, you post photos with your boyfriend. Well, yeah, I do, because he's very hot and I like him.
So do other people. Other people want to look at him too.
But the thing is, for instance, right? We may take photos like over a course of like 1 or 2 days. The rest of the evening, like, my favorite thing is like chilling in the evening, playing Halo, cooking dinner together, like doing the things that actually fucking matter. When I look like shit and he tells me that I'm pretty and I'm like, you fucking liar, I love you so much. So
those are always the best moments.
And those are the moments that really matter. And I'm not going to be posting those on
no one needs
Snapchat
that.
and Instagram, because that's mine. Like,
it's for you.
It doesn't have to be a public thing. Like, you can put stuff publicly, but like, don't expect that what people put publicly is what's they happening. Really are. Like, if you guys think that we're just like lounging around all the time in like fancy ass clothes, like, no. God, no. I just wear his shirts with underwear. That's all I do. Like, it's like everything is so chill and relaxed, and it's like any of those photos he takes for me, because I take photos. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that it's like, oh, here's this thing that you love, so I'll do it with you.
It's something you want me to do with you, I'm going to do it.
I'll say 50 times, I don't know what to do with my face. And it's like, because he does it because he fucking loves me. So it's like, yes.
It's just the same thing.
You just do things because you want to do them for someone. Don't do them because of like, hoping that you'll get a fucking tag about it on the Grum.
Or something else. I guess for me, like, too, and I laugh about it too, is everybody thinks that romance fits in a certain box. Each of us have our own personal box that romance is there. Some people it is. For some people, getting gifts and getting expensive things is their language. It is what they want.
Love languages, for instance. That's a thing. Like,
that is literally romance to people.
It's kind of. I used to think it was kind of silly, but it really is. Like, everyone. It's like this whole spectrum of like what matters to different people. That's why not everyone can date each other. It's why it doesn't work out for everyone, because everyone feels differently. Like, for instance, like, what is your like love language type thing? Like, what makes you happy?
I honestly bless you again, bless you. No,
God. All right.
For me, I feel like I in a sense kind of touch on kind of everything. But I do like attention. I want you to pay attention to me. I want you to do that. That's probably why, like, even like with my friendships too. My friends give me a lot of attention. Like, I love that, and I love that about them. Yeah. But that's also why they're my friends.
And you love attention. That's why I brought you on as many times as I have, because you're so fun to talk to.
No, so I love all, like, I love talking. I love you. I love being around people. Even for me, like, I want to be on my phone doing my own thing while you are doing whatever you want to do in the same room as me.
Yeah.
I don't really like care. Like that's one of the things that I do enjoy, and that's something that makes me happy. And feeding me. I honestly have been sitting here trying to figure out what like love language is feeding me supposed to go into. Like, is that
Service.
gift? Yeah, but
I feel like it's kind of like acts of
but it's
service
also
because whether
gift giving too.
it's kind of, but I feel like for me, for
It's a
instance,
necessity.
I think definitely like the attention, like touch proximity, like thing is good for me. Like for me, the way I express it is I'm a gift giver. Like that's
I got you. I got you.
I brought you this. Do you like it? Do you accept me? Like I do
you
whatever.
accept me?
Like
I got you this little thing.
but like and for me, like little things like acts of service is nice. Like if I do a photo shoot and all of a sudden I come home and there's fucking dinner, I'm like,
What?
there's dinner and the trash is taken out and the dogs are what is
this?
oh my gosh, romantical.
Like I love that.
Just kidding.
No, you're not
I'm
kidding.
not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding.
But I also do like gifts.
You want a good blowjob? Take out the trash. Just words of wisdom. You want your wife to suck your penis? Start doing nice things
do
to help.
little shit to
She
help.
will Glock 3000 that shit for you, and you'll be a happy motherfucker. Extend your marriage. Extend
Your life.
your life.
She won't,
Extend your
she won't
life.
try to kill you.
The more you come, the longer you live. That's a fact.
Yep.
I think.
And you stay looking the youngest. Like the more you come.
Yeah,
But yeah.
and honestly, she'll look younger longer if you cover her face and come at least once a month. It's like a really good. That's why they call it a facial.
Yeah. It's, gonna get deep in those pores. Clear up the skin.
Soak
Keep it
it up
nice and
in.
smooth.
And sometimes I hear that if you come up her nose.
No.
Really-
We're not going there. No.
Sorry, Allie.
No. That is not it.
All right, let's
Not it. Not it.
Oh my god.
It's basically one of those things where you just want to be like, feed me, buy me gifts, and hang out with me. Please. Please, I'll do whatever you say if you just feed me, give me gifts, and hang out with me. Give me gifts. Ooh, give me a gift and feed me and hang out with me. That's an orgasm right there. Your face is telling me that I don't want you to read this.
There's so many questions on this one that are like intense. Hang on. All right.
Okay.
How
How intense are they, though?
All right, let's see. We have question, we have thought and question, and then we have question again. So, this is from T. I consume many varieties of sex worker services, porn, camming, strip clubs, OnlyFans, plus I enjoy meeting full-service sex workers. With the massive rise in OnlyFans and similar in the early pandemic's halt of in-person sex work, tons of women started working digitally and now do both. I would like to know your thoughts on this in regards to the larger sex worker industry, the platforming of full-service sex workers, and your own experiences. I have never been a full-service sex worker, so I don't really have the capacity to speak to this because I am always online or behind a camera in some regard, and I'm sorry that you're not
I
able
give you a
to
fantasy.
get your penis sucked or something, because I'm not a stripper at a strip club. I am an internet stripper and I eat girls' vaginas
Online.
but mostly I diddle myself, so I don't really know, honestly. Like,
Strum your guitar.
I don't know. I think if, for instance, like if women are moving more towards like the digital sphere, that's entirely up to them, regardless. Like, maybe it might suck for you. It's like, but not everybody is going to stop doing the in-person stuff. And honestly, a lot of things are changing with restrictions and stuff like that again. But I think the more that women want to move to the digital platform of the adult industry, then they should, because a lot of people have been in it for a long time, and some people
they've had bad experiences.
and maybe it makes them feel safer to do it from
online.
the comfort of their own home.
And there will
or a
always be
studio
people
or
who won't do
something.
that. There's always going to be, people who will do the in-person things. It's always going to be there.
Because some people love it, but
They
it's
love
like
that.
some people loved it, and maybe they want to try something different. Maybe they want to step back, like,
Or maybe they want to be home with their families more. Maybe they're like, hey, I was doing this all the
and
time.
now I
you know
realize
what?
I can make videos, and that would be cool to be able to spend some
Cool.
time with my family.
And not worry about it. Like,
Yeah,
there's
for
so
sure.
many different reasons for why they do it, but in reality, it's just on what their comfort level is, what they want to do.
So,
it's their body.
I
their
mean,
choice.
and it's like I said, I can't really speak to the deplatforming of in-service sex workers because I've never done that. I don't provide that service. I feel like as a fan, you should definitely know that about me. But so I think it's unfortunate if anyone's income gets taken away from them if they're doing it in a way that's like responsible and legal and stuff like that. And I think that I'm not going to like put my foot in my mouth and like speak to things in the sex worker industry that I don't know anything about. I support people's rights to make money in the ways that they can, as long as they aren't harming people. So
do what is best for you.
Do what is best for you. Try to do it as safely as you can, and do it without bringing harm to other people. And honestly, if it's unfortunate for you, I suppose in your situation, to not have the full service, in-person stuff, but at the same time,
you can
there are places that
where are you? Are you in Nevada? If you're in Nevada, you can go right on over the hump to Pahrump. And there are many places that you can get every aspect of the industry
for legal, free, tested pussy and buttholes,
and it's tested. And you know that it's safe.
Mouths and everything.
Go ahead.
So really cool. So there's an option for you.
Yeah.
For instance, just take a vacation, little pussy vacation.
All
right. So. Oh my god, this is about unionizing the sex worker. I'm not even getting into that at all. I'm free bird, free solo. I'm
you
not
can't even talk on that.
I'm not going to. All right. One of the things I enjoy doing with some is gift giving. I love to see them used in content or in person. I sometimes feel guilty thinking that the money would be better given to the performer than spent on a gift that might or might not be wanted. Thoughts on gifting. My thoughts on gifting are as follows. If someone has a wish list, that means that those are items that they wish to have. That is where you should buy things from. And I say this as someone where I know people have very good intentions, but sometimes I have had just so many things sent to my P.O. box that I'm like, I will never use this, or it's not the right size, so it doesn't even fit me, and I didn't buy it, so I don't have the returns, or it's like, perhaps it's like a sex toy from a company that like I don't use, or it's like, or, it's
you never know what it is,
way, or for whatever reason. So the way that I would say is, if you want to give gifts, get things that people are actually looking for. So for instance, maybe that they have a favorite store that they like to shop at. Email a gift card. If they have a wish list, buy things from the wish list. Because if it comes down to the point where you're buying things that you want someone else to have, it comes back to that whole like expecting someone else to want the same things as you. And it's like the thought that you thought of us is awesome,
or ask them.
But what really shows that you are actually thinking of us is if you are taking the time to actually inquire if these are things that we might actually enjoy or like before we use, before you send them or spend the money. Otherwise, you could have basically just bought a video for the same price. We would have been just as happy, if not more happy, because it's like, oh, well, then you've purchased something that we've created rather than spending that same amount of money to send us something that we either don't want to use, may have no ability to use, like doesn't fit, like something like that. So that's what I would say on gifting. I don't know here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like just talk to someone. You can ask the question.
Yeah,
get it off the wish list. But you touched on everything that makes sense. Like,
okay, cool. All right.
Not everything floats someone else's boat.
All right. As for some comments or topics, so here we go. You didn't say your name. It's just in your email, so I'm not gonna say it. All right. I am a divorced 53-year-old man, been divorced for about 20 years, have dated here and there, but I have not been with a woman since I was about 34 to 35. It's been so long that I don't even know how to be in an adult relationship outside of my group of friends. My best friend is a female. My core group is like 6 or 7. Most are in a relationship, and I am the last holdout. Okay. There was no question there. So I guess we are just supposed to comment on it. Do you have comments on this? My thought, like, for me personally, I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Because
at the end of the day, live your life. Do what's going to make you happy. If you are asking if you should date or how to date, do anything like that, or what you should do what's going to make you happy. For whatever reason, you have chose not to be with a woman for that amount of time. Which is fine. That's your personal preference. But if you feel like you need something more than that, then get something more. If you feel like that's good for you, stick to it. You just need to
just because
get your own wants. Figure out your wants.
It's like
not even your wants. Figure out your needs.
It's like we talked about with Olivia's voicemail as well, where it's kind of like you know, it kind of sounds to me, based on this message that doesn't really ask anything, my interpretation is kind of like, am I wrong for being the last holdout? Because then you're basically going and comparing yourself to
Other
your
people.
friends.
Just
And
'cause
you're
other
like,
people
I'm the
don't
last
do it.
holdout. And it's like, well, are you purposefully holding out? Is there a reason why? Is that something that you even want? Like, did you come out of that relationship and you're just like, well, I'm fine.
I'm fine
And
like this.
are other people telling you what you need? And so then
Are
it's
you
kind of
listening to
like,
them? It's
yeah.
your
So
life.
it's like, if you find someone that you want to jive with, if you're like, oh, I want to go on a date, then find someone going on a date. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be like, you can't go into something new, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, and just be like, I've planned the next 5 years of whatever this is. It's
Doesn't
like,
work
it
like
doesn't. You
At
can't.
all.
You can't even make a 5-year plan for yourself half the time. Like,
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
you know, and it goes back into that whole expectations. Like, what are your expectations for yourself? Do you think that you should have a girlfriend or a wife or children or whatever? Like, who cares? Honestly, like, you're 53 years old, all right? And if you've gone the past, like, 20 years single, essentially, besides, like dates here and there, if you're happy, then fucking be happy
Be
with it.
happy.
Like, that means that you found your bliss with yourself. And then, you know, occasionally interaction from those outside. But if you are at that point and you're like, well, you know, I'm not happy with myself. Well, then at that point, I think it comes down to you and the burden falls to you to basically be like, well, why am I not happy
Well, that was
with
even-
myself or the situation?
I feel like when in his message, if I remember correctly, he did say like, other than like my group of friends, like I don't really know how to interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. If you built these friends, you got this some way, somehow, you interacted in some way, shape, or form.
That's
and
true.
you'll find, like, start interacting with people. You'll find someone who you jive with.
Mhm.
Either you don't jive with someone or you do. There are
I don't
people out
jive
there
with
for everyone.
everyone. Like,
No. Same. I'm like, there's some people who I just, I'm like, okay, like, I would never hang out with you again, or I wouldn't talk to you again.
like, okay, it's like, social situations are so uncomfortable for me. Like, I'm good with a small group of people. I had to go to a party the other night. Do you know what I did? I sat there. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, ugh. I started getting overwhelmed. Started getting panicked. You know what I did? I found one person and I latched onto her and I'm like,
My friend, now
let's sit here and talk with me.
you're mine now.
Because everyone reacts to, you know, social situations differently, whether it's a party, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's the opposite sex, whether it's the same sex. Like, everybody has their own hang-ups. It's just about kind of working through that and finding a way to approach them where you're already comfortable. Like, for instance, if you're more comfortable around your friends, look for suggestions through them. Or if you want to hang out and meet with someone for the first time, invite them out with your friends. You're in a setting then and surrounded by people that you're already comfortable with. So
And your friends will help break the ice a lot of times.
Mhm. Yeah, especially if you find that they're kind of maybe a little more apt in the social sphere, then it's kind of like, if they're already all taken, what's your competition? You just have people who are kind of like hyping you up and helping you, you know, do that. And honestly, reaching out to friends to talk about things like that. Like, it's I'm so happy that you wrote in, because it's like, I feel like a lot of people have these issues, but a lot of people won't just reach out to their friends to be like, hey, like, how do I life? You know what I mean? Like,
No.
it's a real thing. And it's hard for anyone at any stage of life, I feel like,
I
to
agree.
try something new or to try to figure out what it is that you need. So, I mean, I think it all just comes back, you know, once again to, I guess, trying to figure out what it is that you want out of life and what it is that you want out of yourself. And if you've reached a point where you've gone this long single and you're happy with it, then fucking be single.
Stay there.
Just get some strange now and then if it's available to you. It's like gonna do, like, you know,
Live your
or
life.
keep jerking off to me, like, you know, or someone else. Like, it doesn't have to just be me.
Yeah.
I bet you have side pieces. It's okay. It's okay. I don't judge.
No
But-
judgment.
All right, let's see if there's any more. Okay, got some fairly good ones. No, not that.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
Not that. Oh my fucking god, it's Olaf again. Olaf. It's not me. This mother...
Is this the one who like said you guys are married? You left him.
He's like, is this you? I need to know if this is you writing. No. It's not me.
That's
It's
not even a picture
Olaf.
of you.
Olaf. God, you are commenting on all of these. It is not.
That doesn't even
Stop
look like a
sending-
picture of you.
It is me.
I know.
Stop sending me emails asking if it's me. It's not me.
I understand that that's you, but it doesn't look like you anymore.
Yeah, no.
Your hair, it's just...
that was fake hair.
I
Extensions.
I can tell.
For days, yeah.
But I'm like, why would you still have a really old picture as your...
Yeah, because I'm hotter now.
Why would you leave... Oh, Olaf.
Oh, Olaf.
Oh, Olaf.
All right, I'm going to tell him a million times. He's still not going to listen. All right, so
God.
Olaf is still getting catfished. Stay tuned to next week's episode for any updates on Olaf's
catfish
dating life with my catfish. So, fucking ridiculous. All right. All right, let's do this.
It's not.
Please
Olaf
don't
is
read
snowman,
my
she's
name. All right. What is some of the most flattering, creative, or weirdest compliments that you ever got? Does any stand out to you? All right.
Ooh, I got a really good one. Who sent it? I think it's in my requests.
Ooh, my earpiece are cookie. Are you ready for some asthma?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't. I don't want to go through all of these. I didn't realize I had so many requests left. No. So I don't know.
This bitch is in demand, okay?
I don't know why I found it so interesting or like why it was so funny to me. But I had posted a picture. I don't even remember what the picture was because like I finally looked at the request and you know how like after a while in your stories you can't see the little little snippet.
So you don't even know which one it was.
So I don't even know which one it was. I must have deleted it. But the guy was like, "Oh my gosh, your eyes. I just keep looking at your picture and I feel like I am staring into an abyss." And I was like,
An abyss?
yeah. And then
Is that a good thing?
I don't know.
An abyss?
It's about to get better. And then I got another message on the same, I'm guessing it's the same one, but I can't really say for sure, but I'm assuming it's the same one. And he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to just take you and feed you and just keep feeding you. And then if you felt like you were getting fat, we could just go to the gym." He's like, "You were the most amazing thing. I would give you any and everything that I have." And I just thought it was really interesting and I thought it was really funny because I'm like, first
So
I'm
then
an
you asked
abyss.
him for a gift card to the Cheesecake Factory?
No, I didn't say anything.
Damn, you
back.
should have.
I probably should have.
Be like, feed me.
I should be like, "Feed me."
That's what I would do. They'll never actually send you anything, but it's funny to fuck with them sometimes.
And that is true. But I
And
really,
then maybe you do get.
I thought it was really
cheesecake gift
funny. I really thought it was funny
It's
because
very
I'm like,
funny.
my eyes look like an abyss. And I'm like, is that supposed to be good or bad?
Your
But I
eyes
thought
are
that
an
was
abyss and it
hilarious.
makes me want to feed you. Like the bottomless pit of an abyss.
And then corny. I love corny.
Okay,
Super
give
corny.
me corny.
Ooh.
What's the best corny?
What did someone... I'm like trying to... I don't want to say it the wrong way because then it won't make sense. Allie, I think I told Allie... What did I tell you? I told you about some guy hitting on me saying something really corny. But I don't remember what it was. I would have to... I don't know. But I like really corny things. But I think someone said something about my lips or something. I don't know. Something corny.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
For me,
Sorry, guys. Can't give you anything exciting.
I don't have any weird compliments or best compliments on track because, all right, so it's I shun compliments, and I'm like, but also, I think it's one of those things like from camming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in this chat room that's constantly flowing, especially in like a public campsite. So it's like, "You're so what? You're so amazing. I would drag my naked testicles through 10 miles of broken glass just to have the chance to sniff your butthole." And so it's just kind of like nothing else really matters after that point. And I'm just like,
This guy would do anything for me.
If you're a guy, I assume that you want to fuck me. So compliments to me are kind of just like,
I prefer them from women because I feel like it's more
compliments
heartfelt.
from
when
women
women
are more genuine.
yeah,
Or they're really not.
they're really,
But you can tell.
you can usually tell when they're not.
Oh my god, I love that outfit. Where did you get it? It's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen. I don't know. Fucking compliments, man.
But I feel like, yeah, I feel like I get a lot of corny ones. I don't know. Let me see if I can find one for you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a good corny one.
Did you ever receive a love letter or something akin from your fan or a fan? How did you deal with it? Oh boy.
Look at Olaf.
So, there have been many. And what I can say is it comes back to... It's this being in love with the idea of someone. No matter how much time you spend jerking off to someone on the internet or talking to them in their cam space or texting with them or Snapchatting or any of that stuff, you never know the real person. And I've always been like, this is a fantasy. I'm an internet stripper. I diddle myself. Like, for so many years I was mostly solo. Like, and it's just, I'm not here to take responsibility for people's emotions that they let get out of control when they stop separating the fantasy from reality. So it's kind of just a matter of having a conversation with them about it, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. If there's been notes to my PO box before, but if the name isn't attached to someone that I'm like, well, obviously it's this person, then they just go in the bin. I just throw them away because I'm like, I don't even know you. This name has no relevance to me. So like, what am I even meant to do with this? How would I even contact you? I don't want to. Just to, like, is it my responsibility to contact you to be like, no, I'm not in love with you, and we'll write back and forth for years like pen pals?
No.
Like, it's not, like, it's, I don't know. I think it's very silly. And while I appreciate the sentiment, I also don't, because it's not what you think it is. Like, it's...
Well, and a lot of times, too,
Love
even if
lust.
I tell you that it's not me, you're probably still going to be like, it is you. You're going to have that little glimpse
It's
of
like
hope.
Olaf.
Like, literally.
It's like fucking Olaf. I've told this to the human being a million times.
That it's not me.
That it's not me. I've addressed it on the podcast. I've addressed it in emails. I've addressed it in comments. And I'm just like...
Everything. And he still thinks it's you.
So I'm not going to do it anymore.
Nope, just stop
And
it.
y'all need to start being responsible for your own emotions.
Couldn't find any of them. I stopped looking, actually.
But sometimes it goes bad. But most of the time it's kind of like, oh, they just disappear. And I get it. Like, I get it.
And then they go away. And then you just are like, okay, cool.
People come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Not for everyone.
No.
But anyone who might be watching this now thinking, well, perhaps I can just subscribe to her OnlyFans, slither into those DMs, and spend a bunch of money, and then she'll get married with me, and put my penis in her, and she'll have my babies. We'll grow old together on a porch swing somewhere in the South.
In your head.
Oh, humidity. We're gonna love that when we're old. Our old, brittle bones grinding against each other in fervent passion well into our 80s. It's not gonna happen. Like, it's not. So please, if you want to subscribe to my OnlyFans, please do.
Give her money.
But know that if you subscribe to any of my platforms, it's purely to jerk off to my body, which I have provided for you for a nominal fee.
Give her more money.
Cheaper than Netflix.
Yeah. Give her more money so she can buy me lots of random drinks to drink. Sounded like farts.
Allie's over here making some beats in the back. Oh my gosh. Oh dear fucking Lord. All right. So I think we are going to, I think at this moment, we are going to take our moment to have show and tell BDSM time with Sam. And then Charlese and I will join you guys again for the sign off.
Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. So, as a special part of the All Love episode, Sam is here to not only show and tell all of her fantastic domination equipment, but also kind of show you guys how to use them if these are things that you're interested in trying with yourself, with a partner, in your bedroom, or actually potentially hiring a dom in your life. So
I mostly just don't want you guys to hurt each other.
yes, exactly.
So I'm going to give you a crash course.
We must.
Oh yeah, I was going to
also
say, do we
make
want to
sure-
use yours or do we want to pull this one over here too?
We might as well get both until we
Both
need
in
to
there.
sand.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Here we go. Now you can hear me. Don't hurt each other.
Don't hurt each other.
Hurt each other, but in ways that are safe and don't actually cause permanent damage.
In ways that are safe and sexy.
Ooh. Ooh. I knew how to do that. I was just being dramatic.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, it's quite alright.
Actually, I don't know why it does keep falling down.
It's this one.
We're professionals. I mean,
I'm much better with like locks and keys than
Yeah.
using that.
You're like, I'm not used to the twisties. It's all right because it will still catch your voice.
We're just gonna slowly go down here. Okay, quick. Anyways, crash course. Okay, so your basic little impact toy that I highly recommend anybody to get started with. Don't go for whips first. Go for a flogger. Floggers are great, especially if you go with something that's like a suede. See how soft that is?
Ooh, very soft.
It doesn't provide a sting. It provides a good slap.
Yeah.
So it's a rather than hitting somebody and then it being like a very, very stingy edge to it. So anything along these lines,
Like
anything
crops
along this, that's gonna sting. It's supposed to.
But this kind of provides
This feels like a really
displacement.
yes, exactly.
I've been
It spreads
flogged
it
a little
out.
bit, but not like super intense. But yeah,
It has a good smack to it.
and it's a really good sound. Is what one of the things that I liked about flogging.
Bingo. And with floggers, you're going to want to do a baseball swing. I'll actually demonstrate all the other fun stuff in a minute. Whereas with a whip, you're going to want to kind of do like a crack. So I'll throw you those little tidbits to be able to practice with too.
Fun.
So yeah, highly recommend a flogger to start off with if you're going to go with anything impact. Paddles are extremely popular, but it's an intense hit.
Especially if you're just starting out with kind of BDSM play, it can go super intense at
Yeah. And hitting in the same spot over and over again. Don't fucking do that to somebody who's never been hit before or spanked on a repeat or actually got into that subspace. You have to walk them in properly. So
Yeah.
make sure you spread those spanks out. Make sure whatever it is that you're working on,
And also
you're
like
moving into
stay
different areas.
I would say like probably also stay in tune to the person that you're smacking as well. Because
Absolutely. Don't get
you
carried
know,
away. It's exciting.
and there's a total difference. I feel like also it's like when someone is hiring you, for instance, they're already kind of like, all right, I'm in, this is what I want to do. But as far as like trying it in your personal life, it's just like porn.
Yeah.
It's real, but it's not all real, and there's different progressions of like realism for what it is. So it's like you
Absolutely.
can't
And when
go
you're in a
watch a
personal
dominatrix video
space-
and then just go beat the shit out of your girlfriend. It just won't work.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is that in a personal space, you have to understand too, there is going to be this extra layer of you guys care about each other. You want to dive deeper for each other. So don't push yourself further for the exploration of somebody else. Have that communication. You guys can explore deeper at another point. If you want to go ahead and explore and hit those pause buttons. Go through that lovely little green, yellow, orange, red. Green is go ahead and keep going. Yellow is give me a breath. Orange is stop. We need to take a second. Red is we are done here.
Yeah, so
Easy enough.
no matter what
And
your
adjust
safe
that as
words
you need
are,
to.
make sure that you go. And then I also kind of feel like if you're getting ready to dive into something interesting like this, because, you know, especially in long-term relationships, you're with someone for a long time. If you want to stay committed in that relationship, you gotta try new stuff.
Absolutely.
So if you might see something like this, that's awesome. Go shop for it together.
And the
Don't
other
just
thing,
like
too-
pull it out and be like,
Ooh, you
surprise!
hit that on the head
Here's a
with the
riding
wrong-
crop. Like go out and be like, here, feel these ones. Feel how these feel. Do tease in the store together. Be like, oh, like how
does that
this-
excite you?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And the other fun thing too to consider is like so many people don't want to bring up these desires with their partner because, oh, well, if I bring it up with my partner and it scares them away, well, I myself. It's going to yourself a lot harder if you go find it with somebody else. Don't go cheating. Have those conversations. They're uncomfortable. I
They're
promise.
super
It'll go
uncomfortable.
where you need it to be. And if you guys don't end up aligning, okay, you don't end up aligning. At least you didn't break somebody's heart.
Yeah. And then at least I think it also brings to that point of, well, I think that a lot of people will be more happy with the idea that you were able to feel comfortable enough, even though it's scary, to be able to bring up those concerns with someone who you love and care about, or
Absolutely.
at
If
least
they're your
respect in one way or
person,
another, for sure.
Let them be your person. If they're your safe space, let them be your safe space. If you need to go find a different safe space, you need to make sure they're aware that that safe space is with somebody else.
Yeah.
We'll get
for
back
sure.
to the point because otherwise
Yeah,
we'll go
sorry.
rabbit hole. No. I totally will like go on to that topic a lot. I work with a lot of couples and there's a lot of couples I've worked with who no longer need me because they are able to release it within themselves now.
Which is awesome.
I love that more than anything,
so
honestly.
cool.
If you're looking for something like, you know, the little tools that everybody loves to get started off with, like leashes and collars and things of that nature, don't go buy a dinky leash. Please go buy an actual leash. Feel how heavy this is. The weight of it hanging from your neck alone is going to create a little bit more of a
That's
submissive control space for it. I think that one's by Tom Ford, if I'm not mistaken, or Tom of Finland or something along those
I was
lines.
like, Tom Ford. Those are the scents that I buy for my man's cologne.
Tom Ford, I think, is wrong.
But no, it's not.
It's Tom of Finland.
It's Tom of Finland.
Tom of Finland.
But Tom Ford sounds better.
Yeah, you know, there's an F in there.
Leashes.
Tom F. you know.
Leashes by Tom Ford. Pairs well with Oud Wood.
But yeah,
love that.
grab yourself a heavy leash. Just having that aspect of when you put a leash onto somebody and it has a weight to it versus just like the act of leashing somebody, like, yeah, that's cute and that's fun. But if you really want to dive into playing with those things that add that extra layer of being able to create a space of releasing control and passing control back and forth between you, use the proper tools. It is worth investing in, I promise.
I feel like it brings whole new meaning to the old ball and chain. Because like that's actually like a way.
No one's breaking off of
But
this.
what's kind of cool about that way is kind of like, oh, like this is in your hands. Like we're in this together. Like I kind of
it's
feel
a
with
strong bond.
one
It's
of-
not breakable.
I think what a lot of people look at with domination too is where it's like, oh, you're just in control, you have all the power, but it's really about the relationship and the dynamic going back and forth.
It's the exchange.
It's not just, oh, this person is owning me. It's that, oh, like
And actually,
I'm being
hold on.
owned with
I need to
them
cut you
and
off
that
right
type of
away.
Stuff, I feel like.
If it's not that,
Then
they're
it's
not
wrong.
a dom, they're a
Then it's
predator.
wrong. Yeah.
It is as simple as that.
It
If
has
you
to
are
be about
calling
both.
yourself a dom, and it is for you to be able to get what you want out of your submissive, you're not a dom, you're a predator. And I'm sorry if that hurts to hear and that you need to go reflect on it, but that is the case. A
There needs
dom
to be
is
give
someone
and
who
take.
provides a safe space for somebody to release and submit their control.
And it's a
End of
partnership that you
story.
enter into, whether it's your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whether it's actually a dominatrix. It's a partnership. It's a relationship in whatever way that is, but it requires give and take from both people and comfort levels on both ends.
Absolutely, because if it's just one person going in to get what they need out of it, I promise you it's going to cause a lot of trauma. Don't go doing that. Anyways, back to toys. I love these little rabbit holes. Something you want to stock up on is these. These are fantastic. These are awesome. Any sort of bondage gear that you do or any sort of bondage work that you're going to do, these are going to just help you out in so
They
many
look like
different
they'll be very
scenarios.
useful.
Even just in the sense of hooking this guy to be able to hook it to
Is this
other
how you
things.
catch fish?
Something like that.
Cool.
You know, like men like hold their fish like really proud.
And they're like,
That's kind of what you can imagine. It's just, you know, up your asshole.
yeah, cool.
And I'm very proud when I do that.
Do you lift people up by their butthole?
I don't personally lift them, but I definitely have suspension rigs
Hell yeah.
that will go ahead and hold them on their toes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's more what I meant. I didn't think that you were like
Yeah.
standing on a ladder being like,
Oh,
"Alright,
dude, if
now."
I had the proper pulley system, you bet your ass I would throw somebody in the air.
Hell
But
yeah.
I don't have that. If you'd like to invest in it, please, by all means, official.shiosam@gmail.com. Strap-ons! Strap-ons are so fun. If you
love
are
strap-ons.
excited by the idea of your woman you with a strap-on, you're not gay, dude. That's okay. It doesn't
Your
like
G
you
spot
don't.
lives in your butthole.
Yeah.
So it's
man.
like, don't feel bad about it.
The amount of people that I work with that are like, "Oh, I'm so worried I'm gay because I want you to me and with a big old dick."
And
It's
this
like,
should
no,
also-
dude. It's just the idea that you want to be so release of control that you are willing to be by a woman with a dick.
And also, on that same note, you know, okay, so wanting to have your woman put a rubber penis in your butt and you doesn't mean anything. You can get stuff that doesn't even look like penises if it makes you feel more comfortable. However, that's also not the thing for every guy. You know, like you can have that knowledge like, oh, I've heard that anal stimulation is really good, but maybe you have whatever mental block. Don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
There are also
just-
ones
but
that will be
also-
able to feel really good for her. They have like vibrators. It might not even be for you. Maybe your woman wants to feel what it's like to strap something on and somebody and insert somebody.
But I'm
That's
saying,
a really
regardless of like
crazy,
how you feel
vulnerable
about
space.
it, regardless of how you feel about it, though, don't feel bad if you don't want stuff in your butt, but don't feel bad if you do.
Exactly. Whatever you want, there is proper space to create it. And that's exactly what we're talking about here today is creating those safe spaces.
In one way or
Love.
another.
In one way or another. This, I highly recommend. This is actually Aslan leather, ASLAN. They are based out of Canada. If you're gonna get yourself a strap on,
It's really pretty.
It's comfortable.
It's so beautiful.
Oh my
though.
god, it's incredibly comfortable. Their seams are just flawless.
That is one of the things that I like about quality domination equipment is really honestly even just the look. Like I like even having things just for shoots, like even for photos, because honestly it just looks beautiful. Like Honey Burdette even has like sometimes matching
love my bordel.
handcuffs that goes like with their outfits, and it's cool because it's just there's something about that just feels like sexual power.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
absolutely. And that's even a place to start, is just, you don't have to dive into this stuff. Get yourself some outfits.
Get yourself some leather.
Like
just feel
manties are
yourself.
great. Like, I love a man who rocks manties with like pride. That's like, as long as it's a confidence and you can see like the excitement and the giddiness that it brings you, your partner's gonna be so happy to share that space.
Yeah, even things like, hey, put on a mask and be like, it's not me tonight.
Should I grab that one?
I'm the sexy devil this evening. You know, like
I don't know if you look like a sexy devil in this.
Okay,
but...
maybe not this one. I'm more man.
I know. I was like, well, I'm reaching that direction.
You can start with a normal mask, and maybe you can escalate to sensory deprivation.
We touched briefly on this in our episode that you guys will see exactly. So go ahead and see a little bit more of a breakdown of this, but just a very quick breakdown. Ear padding, extremely small nose hole. You're not going to be able to breathe very well in the sense of taking a breath.
Don't start with this. Start somewhere else.
Actually,
and work up, perhaps.
This might be something that people would love to start with if you're the kind of couple who meditates together. If you've been to sensory deprivation tanks, if that is a space that is something that, like, if you're used to like meditation and going into a space of silence, this might actually be one of the
best things to start with.
I know it's an intense looking piece, but just the idea of having your partner put you into a sensory deprivation hood that they could potentially lock onto you and just entering that space of trust.
Because I
and
feel
the
like
moment you start to panic, and I'm sorry, I'm like going off on this one. I don't mean to cut you off, but like even just the methods of, you have to stay with your partner. You have to watch them. If they start to panic, they can throw up. And they're stuck in this with throw up, and then they gag on their throw up and they die. Be fucking careful. But also understand the fact that if you have a dynamic that creates that safe space where you can feel confident to have somebody else lead you in a guided meditation or something along those lines, beautiful start. Watch your partner, have them sit in it, have them leaning up against a wall, place their hands in their lap. If they start to panic, you grab their hands very gently, you press them into the ground, you put your hands on top of them, and you bring them that grounding. If they don't seem to find that grounding, you pull them out of the hood. You have to make it very clear to the person when you're putting it in this hood, it's going to take a moment to get off. So if you're starting to panic, continue to trust me. I will get it off of you the moment I see that you need it. Have a thumbs up, thumbs down. They can't hear you. Thumbs up if you're doing okay as soon as you get that on. Thumbs down if you need it off. It's a beautiful space to play in. You're not hitting each other. You're not worried about scarring each other. It's actually a really, really kick-ass space to explore if you guys can provide that space for each other.
I feel like, especially too, if you are someone who is used to something like meditation, you're really with a good partner. Even starting out, I would feel like with perhaps the hood, maybe sit naked. Like where someone is spread behind you and they're holding you. That's it. And it's like,
God,
that's
be
a
beautiful.
good place to start.
So I love that idea. Okay, so
one
moving
question
on.
is, would you like to demonstrate? Then I can move out of your way and demonstrate some of
Absolutely, some of these guys. I'm going to move my microphone out of the way too and just yell at you guys as loud as I can. Woo! Nice ring, really
For
fat.
you audio listeners,
Yeah, quite literally. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah, the fat toes are really nice. You're not going to cut into their skin at all, but you're going to leave a big fucking welt. And to give that simultaneous impact, oh my God, that's super fun.
Yeah.
I highly recommend if you're going to be the person wielding it, warm yourself up. I gave myself tennis elbow last week hitting somebody with these. So my right arm was like, I'm used to this. My left arm was like, fuck you.
Warm up. Just like with sex, just like with anything physical.
Exactly. Little whips are a great way to start. If you want to start working with work. You can just kind of play around however you want it. It's really fun to like stand in front of somebody and just kind of hit them. I was sitting there. It's nice too when you get really good with a particular tool that you have, this is one of my favorite ones because it's a 4-footer. I've gotten used to being like, I know exactly where I can stand to where this is going to be about this far from your face, but I'm going to hit you in the tip of the cock.
Oh,
So
that's impressive.
it's kind of fun. You can just enjoy yourself in that sense and be able to wield a little bit that way. If you want to use a bigger whip, please go outside.
Except for in here, because we're professionals. You are.
I used to, when I do it on cam, I'm like quite literally in like this very similar space. I don't have a whole lot of room. Yeah, we're good. I got the fan. Thank you. Whenever you're using a whip, it's very much like a frisbee throw that you draw back in really quickly. When you're using a flogger, I'll demonstrate it. It's that lovely baseball swing. Makes all the difference if you're trying to make that crack sound. So, quick frisbee throw. Woo! Ta-da! Ta-da! Hey! I love my job. Floggers. Floggers are probably, there are so many lovely ladies who have felt this particular flogger. Makes me really happy. Yeah, this is one we can absolutely demo.
I am fully prepared.
It sounds so nice. And then, do you mind bending over for me? Thank you. You can just sit there and hit it and have so much fun.
My vagina!
And then if you want to get them really excited, you just kind of drag it along. Let those soft little tassels go all in their head and then hit them again.
Thank you.
I love this thing. Yeah, 2 more little items I wanted to show you guys is everyone loves nipple clamps.
Come back if we're
Please do. I don't think we're gonna be throwing anything around on just little guys now at this point. If you guys ever have any questions, I am an open book. I am on MFC all the time. We just hang out during the day. Come into my chat room. Come pick my brain. I am happy to help you guys out. Truly, truly happy. That's what I love doing more than anything else, is providing this so that you guys can go do it yourselves in a safe manner. Don't hit each other in the kidneys. I didn't say that yet.
Be careful.
Oh God, I'm really happy I remembered that really quickly. Don't ever hit each other in the kidneys. Oh my God. If you're using bruiser balls, just use it in like a very, very muscle mass area, like your thighs, your calves, your butt. If you don't know what a bruiser ball is, it's a handle with a rubber like silicone ball at the end, and you smack it into people's muscles, and it gives them a really good bruise. People who are psycho will ask you to hit them in the balls. Don't fucking pop somebody's ball.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's
Don't
bad.
do it. It's bad.
Everyone loves nipple clamps.
Yes.
But if you get ones that have little hooks on them.
I like the ones that are connected in the middle so you can pull on them yourself. But having these with somebody else controlling would be awesome.
It's really quite nice because you can go ahead and, even if you are just with yourself, you have them on your collar. And then as you're walking around, it swings. Like it swings it a little bit. It's really nice.
Nice.
I also really enjoy taking them off of the collar then from somebody. And if it's someone who can handle it and really enjoys a lot of pain with the sensitivity of their nipples, tug, tug, tug. Watch the fear fucking scream through their eyes.
I love ripping them off. I know.
And then rip them off.
This. Yes, please. Rip it
It's
off
like,
all day.
honestly, one of my favorite things in the world is one particular sub. When I do that to him, oh my God, the terror.
I fucking
He
love
loves
to do
it,
it to
so
myself. I mean,
great.
years on cam at the tip for the nipple clamps, and the tip extra on me to pull them off. I'm like, oh, I'm like, ah,
yes, so good.
so there's a collar that you could hook them to.
Yeah, right. This is probably not the collar I suggest hooking them to.
Yeah, but you. There are many different kinds.
This is the kind of collar that you are going to use, not in a situation where you are doing anything else besides putting them in a predicament of you have to sit here like this for a while, or you're doing the dishes, or you're doing whatever, etc. Something that is not high impact. Reason being, this lovely thing sits right here.
Keep you in perfect posture.
Don't fucking hit somebody and then have them jolt and stab themselves in the neck.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
do
But
it.
if you're the kind of person who likes the idea of being, you have a home office, or you have an office that is your own and you don't have to worry about anybody.
Oh no!
Aura Young is coming to the rescue!
Thank you, Aura.
Thanks! But regardless, if you have that kind of a situation where you can go ahead and sit in a predicament, I guess you would call it. This is a fantastic item. If you want to go make your man do the dishes while wearing a posture collar, have him sit in this. You can't move your neck around at all. You have to sit like this. You can't go look down at your fucking phone.
It's also a great
awesome.
way to learn table etiquette.
Absolutely. No, this one's very fun for lifestyle play. Truly. If you're going to be the kind of person who's like, my man's a fucking animal or whatever, etc., and I need him to start like being conscious of how he's eating. Like, yeah, you just keep choking on your food because you're not eating mindfully, motherfucker. We're gonna put you in a collar. Posture collars are a blast. BDSM is a blast. Yeah. Any sort of a bondage situation, impact play and bondage can definitely be put together, but you also have to understand that they don't have to be together. Mm-hmm. You can use the sensory deprivation hood and just do some sort of
and do some cuddling.
Exactly. You could go the other route.
There's so many ways, so many levels to explore.
So beautiful. Mm-hmm. It truly is.
But just make sure that you have a partner in whatever way, whether it's someone that you're paying for the experience and the knowledge and the understanding, or whether it's your partner, make sure, as always, that you communicate properly with what you need and listen to what they need and ask what they need. You know, you can't always make the focus yourself. And especially in sex, the focus should never be just yourself. Otherwise, you should be masturbating at home alone.
Bingo! And jacking off to us. No, truly, you hit it on the head. It has to be creating space for each other. The moment it's creating space for yourself, you're not doing things in a healthy manner.
And honestly, I think the more that we all try to create a space, not only for ourselves, but also for our partners, when you have two people trying to reciprocate and doing that, you're going to have such better sex. You're just going to have better sex.
You're also going to have better relationships.
Exactly.
In the rest of your life, too. Mm-hmm. Like, it's truly, when you can dive into this deep of space of intimacy and vulnerability, you're going to come out a better person, I promise.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the demonstration.
Thank
you for being here. And I hope that you guys enjoyed our little show and tell with Sam.
Have a good Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Yeah. Molly. What is this? How did you get me here like this?
I don't know.
Man,
I was like, Charlese, will you come over? And you were like, yes.
Oh, I love to come over.
I can't wait to get completely naked in front of you and spread chips, cheese, sour cream,
guacamole,
ceviche.
Oh my god.
Shredded beef, seasoned in something spicy.
Oh my god.
And then I'll lie there. And as my nipples poke up through the guacamole, I'll watch you take a big scoop with a chip.
Oh my gosh. I just
Bring
can't.
it to your fucking mouth and you'll put it inside.
And then I'll swallow it. Oh god.
Wow.
Nachos. Can we call that segment? Coming for nachos with Molly.
Whose nachos are they?
Can we have potatoes with them? I love potatoes. It makes me rub my boobies.
Oh my god, au gratin.
Mashed double cheese
with garlic and butter. French fries
with ranch. Yes. Oh my gosh. A baked potato. Can I have a baked potato while you are my baked potato?
Do you want to peel off my tin foil?
All right. Oh, we held that up good for a minute.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. So, thank you, Charlese, for that amazing ASMR. And I hope that if you guys are listening to this on Valentine's Day or not on Valentine's Day with a loved one, with a potential loved one, with somebody that you just want to fuck.
Or with your toy.
Or with your toy. Alone.
Or your fingers. Or your shower head.
God, I hope you have at least one of those things. And
me
if
too.
not, at least you have us. So thank you for spending your Valentine's Day with us here on the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast.
Not dirty
I
at
am
all.
Molly Stewart. And once again, this is Charlese. Tell them where they can follow you, my dear.
You can follow me at A Purple Affair on Instagram. And I think that's it. There's nowhere else to follow me.
Amazing.
Don't follow me anywhere else. Do not follow me in
Don't.
person. Only on Instagram.
If she
At A
sees,
Purple Affair.
if she sees you following her in person, she will turn around and put her boot so far up your ass that you're going to taste the soul of it.
They might like that though.
That's true.
So
Some people would pay for the privilege. And if you would
yeah.
like to pay for the privilege, please send her a message on Instagram.
yeah, if you would love to pay for that, gosh,
I got some
Gosh.
kick-ass boots.
I got some kick-ass boots. They come to my thigh, so it'll be it'll be great.
These boots were made for fucking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna
take
fuck up
me to
in your
fuck you.
poo. Their butt. All right. Anyway, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. We hope they will see you next week. Please leave a rating anywhere that you can rate podcasts, 5 stars, hopefully, because we are very fucking entertaining.
Also, send in more stuff. Like
Send in more stuff.
Send
I
in.
love hearing voicemails. And honestly, I can do more segments with Charlese. I'll read them myself. I'll read them with other people.
again?
Yeah. Write in. Leave comments. Leave the comments. Help the algorithm. We appreciate you guys so much. You have been an amazing audience. I am very stoned, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.